Hi everyone. Hi. So today we're going to be looking at a method called completing a square to solve factorizing quadratic equations. So there are three ways how you can factorize quadratics. First way is a normal factorization where you put a couple of brackets. Secondly, it is using your quadratic formula. And finally, this is a way by factorizing which is completing a square. So the first step we look at it is we try and make sure that the equation is given in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. So if you notice, this equation is exactly in the same form as that. So we're good to go. Okay, so what's the next thing we do? We try and focus on your ax squared plus bx element, which in this case is your x squared plus 4x. So we're going to focus on them two elements. Okay, so if I write that separate, x squared plus 4x, and we try and do multiple things with it. Firstly, we try and square root that x squared. We follow the sign that is given in the problem. So I'm just going to mention follow the sign, and finally we halve that value of the number given. So when we do that, square root x squared is your x, follow the sign is going to stay as a plus, half of 4 is a 2. So this way we can write that in completing a square form, which is x plus 2 squared. Okay, now on the next bit we try and subtract the square of that, as the method says, completing a squared. So we minus that 2 squared. That should give us x plus 2 squared minus 4. And finally we try and bring along that term plus 15 and we attach it with that minus 4. So when we combine them together, we should be able to get x plus 2 squared minus 4 plus 15 should give us plus 11, and that should be our final form. Okay, so likewise, if you want to try and have a go at a similar looking example, so let's say this time we say factorize, and the quadratic equation we have this time is x squared plus 6x plus 49. So if you want to try and pause the video and try and have a go, see what you make of it. Okay, so hopefully after following few steps you should have been able to get the final solution for this as x plus 3 squared plus 40. Okay, and that should be your final looking solution on the second one. So that is a nice and easy way to do completing a square. Now, few things to point out. I have thrown in few freebies along with a bonus with this video. So you'll find an infographic showing the steps on how to complete a square. You got those steps listed in a separate doc file. You also have an acronym to help you remember the steps on how to complete a square. And finally, something to have a think of. If you notice in this video, we have tried and picked the value of a as 1. Now have a think, what would happen if that value of a is not equal to 1? So have a think on what happens. Oh, that's my wonky one. What happens if a is not 1? Also, there could be another variation on this completing a square where they may ask you to solve it as in similar equation, and they might say solve it equal to 0. So have a think try to leave your comments in the comment section, and please try and have a look at my upcoming videos on those variations to do with completing a square. Finally, please feel free to subscribe and like the channel to help me grow with my videos. Thank you so much. All the best. Thank you. Bye. Bye.